If we care about the children, how about constructing gender in a way that doesn't result in record depression, suicide, anxiety, isolation, and unhappiness, regardless of lopping off your tits? Today's question of the day, by the way, for those watching on YouTube and who've hit the notification bell, are you receiving notifications? We need to know. About half the people who've done so have been complaining that they haven't been receiving them. You guys have been getting these tweets, so please let us know, comment below. And today's rebuttal comes to us from the borderline child abusers and the 4 million subscribers teaching children the concept of gender at the YouTube channel Cut. Let's get to it.
What's like a stereotype of a boy?
Hey, dude, man! What's up? Is that the meat? Ow! Damn, cool.
It stays this obnoxious, I'm sorry, but we'll have some very valuable information for you. So an immediate theme you'll notice with this video is the open and negative stereotyping of the male gender. Well, simultaneously trying to be inclusive to non-existent genders. It's important. He didn't say, hey, how should a man behave? It was, what would be a negative stereotype of a male?
I need your name, your gender identity, and your preferred pronouns.
What? I don't know what the last two are.
Don't worry, no one does, as you'll see later in the video. Next clip.
Riley, do you know what gender is?
Something you identify with.
I'm trying to remember how to answer this so that I don't get into trouble at home for hate speech.
See, you're in the ballpark.
Yeah, that's an answer no 6-year-old gives unless they were coached by an angry pansexual lesbian mother, and she still can't get it right for fear of the Afro-lesbian pansexual beating her.
I like to think I understand a little bit of it.
You don't.
Do you know what makes a boy and what makes a girl a girl?
I don't know.
What are boy things?
Strong, fearless.
Oh. Boom! So clearly that doesn't work.
Couple of things. The boy in his innocence states what a boy wants to be, right? And maybe what we as a society would want men to be: strong, fearless. She said, let me swat that down with the anecdotal in arm wrestling a 5-year-old. Could you imagine if this had occurred with a child who had created some painting or was trying to expand his creative realm, and a parent just said, that's stupid, get it out of here. A kid's like, I want to be strong. I'm gonna arm wrestle you, and she feels proud of it. So that doesn't work.
Add that to my highlight reel.
I beat you at 5. Really, Mom? How about I give it a shot?
At 15.
Can we see a gender difference at that point? You want to know the real biological differences in gender? Let's line up 100 males within the average reference range, okay? Within 100 miles here of this lady, and have mommy arm wrestle them. By the way, rule, I should have clarified, none of them can be 5 years old. Next clip.
What does it mean to be a boy?
You act annoying and rude.
Dance like a boy.
I hate myself too.
Oh my God!
Disturbed.
Twerking. I wonder where this child could have possibly learned that girls should twerk, Mom. But let's all laugh at the negative traits of men, right?
Yes.
They're rude and angry. Well, what if we said, what does it mean to be a girl? And she said, you act submissive and agreeable? How would they react? I can tell you exactly how they do that, how they would react, because when Jordan Peterson cites just that, scientifically, people lose their minds and call him a figurehead of the alt-right. Out of context, mind you, to the point where they actually have to re-release the interview because it was so misleading. Let's go to the next clip.
They used to think that the only favorite colors girls could have was pink and purple.
No.
But I've never had pink as my favorite color.
Right.
No, Mom, not
Not
right.
a thing.
No one ever assumed or forced girls to like only pink or purple colors. That was never a thing into having one preferred color. Instead of, this just goes to show you that this video, and we'll get to more statistical realities here that are really striking and what's dangerous about this. A lot of people go, why are you just talking about the Iran deal? This is the corrosion of Western civilization right here. When we start targeting children and teaching them scientific, biological, observable falsehoods in the name of political correctness, that's when you know society's jumped the shark. And the mom here, instead of saying right, because it's not right, she should have screamed to that child, straw man, no, sweetheart, that's incorrect. I want you to agree with mommy and everything, but I want you to agree with mommy understanding the facts. We never actually had any kind of systemically instituted preferred colors for your gender. That wasn't a thing. Next clip.
On your body, what do you have that I don't have? What is that?
I can't say it! Junk cleaner.
Congratulations, 5-year-old boy who's being openly mocked in this video. You provided the only correct answer thus far. Yeah! Woohoo! That was a bad idea. Because it went out my nose. Don't drink champagne straight from the bottle. By the way, spoiler alert, that's the only correct answer for the entirety of the video. Next clip.
So, if a person with a wiener says, hey, I'm a girl, what is that person?
A girl. A boy. A female.
Behold, gender identity.
That older boy's face is priceless right there. Like, behold, gender identity, as though it's a thing. It's like, behold, my bullshit. Kids right away. Like, Mom, this doesn't make any sense. And the mom laughs as though she's teaching her children nuance. That's what this whole video is about, right? But the thing is, they're just trying to unteach your children scientifically observable biology in favor of a social agenda. As we said, remember when they said that they weren't coming for your kids? Yeah.
They're here.
Key grip Garrett.
I mean, that's the moment he realized his mom was an idiot. That moment.
I suspected, I didn't think you were unintelligent, but I thought you might be a bit of a bitch when you arm wrestled my 5-year-old brother to embarrass him on the national broadcast. Now I just think you're also a fundamentally unintelligent. Not because you're a woman, just because you're you. Next clip.
When did you find out if I was a boy or a girl?
Maybe 15 minutes after you were born.
That seems reasonable.
But
oh no,
as I'm learning, that was just the sex you were born. That doesn't mean that's the gender you're going to
I am not
to be.
a boy.
How do you know? And this isn't a trick question.
I just know.
You just know.
You shouldn't have to think about it twice.
No, but what if like
dad,
society is telling you you can't? If I was always just, you can't be a girl, you can't be a girl your whole life, you think you would be like, oh,
I would
maybe
just
I'm
say,
not-
Mommy, I'm gonna stay at your house.
Oh, Mommy's house. I see there are two Christmases in that family there. Which makes sense because at first I thought this was going to be the gay dad.
Yeah.
But now I just...
Plot twist.
Plot twist. Divorce.
Just a prick.
See, these are the same.
What were you going to say, not Kate Jared?
The funny thing is, these are the same people who will be losing their minds when you tell your kid, tell people you take your kids to church.
I know.
You are indoctrinating.
How
them.
dare you indoctrinate
What
them?
the f is this?
I know. Well, here's the thing. First off, couple clarifications. Gender actually isn't assigned at birth. It's recognized by medical professionals, doctors. Because contrary to how a child feels in the hair dye aisle 15 years down the line, okay, with mommy, doctors actually need to identify the sex/gender to determine immediate care and treatment. For example, boys have higher mortality rates during the first year due to a weaker immune system. They need more care and they cost more money. And the example that this father, loosely, this beta male uses is the exact opposite, by the way. This is a reverse now. He's like, what if I was saying you can't be a girl? You can't be a girl. When the fact is, it's biology telling them, sorry, but you're not a boy. It's the opposite of what the dad is saying. And of course, again, 2 Christmases, which stands to reason. Next clip.
When I was little, people used to call me tomboy, and that didn't really fit because it wasn't something that I called myself. Like, I felt like a little boy when I was little. And then when I was 12 and I found out that I was supposed to be a girl and that girl meant certain things, it was kind of scary to me because it was a box that I wasn't ready to be put into.
No one...
I can imagine that.
No one put you into a box. You have one. Now, here's the thing. How did you feel like a boy? This is where it starts to unravel. I felt like I was a boy. Were you rude and annoying? Because that's the only example we've had of men here. Remember, what would you think of rude and annoying, thinking they're cool, aggressive, violent? We've only heard negative male stereotypes. And then she said, I felt as though I was a boy. How so? How did you feel as though you were a boy? And then you said, society tried to force me into the box of being a woman. Do you mean that society tried to force you to be what? What would be the antonym to rude and annoying? Antonym, for those who don't know, it's the opposite of a synonym. Could it be polite?
Excellent.
Cordial? So you mean society is forcing you to be polite and cordial, which would be considered feminine qualities? I don't understand this. Then again, science. Next clip.
What if you forgot if you were a boy or a girl?
There are people who don't really identify as a boy or a girl.
Oh, no.
They're in that middle space.
5-year-old Dave Rubin's
Yes.
confused.
They're in that. They're in that middle space. Oh, I know this one, Mom. Do you mean like the intersex people who only make up, I think, about 0.018% of the population? And many people with today's progressives called intersex. Actually, they have conditions. They really aren't confused about their gender at all, but they actually have predominantly male or female characteristics, and they end up living under one gender or another entirely guilt-free and without biological complication. Is that where we're going with this, Mom? Are you talking about intersex, the very extreme and small example? Oh, no, next clip.
People should call you your actual gender. They, them, she, her, he, him, or none.
Okay. First off,
she's woke.
Oh, yeah, the two girls, or none. Really? Two young children who refuse to acknowledge biology and now claim that they have no gender, okay? Who just so happen to have a blue-haired, lesbian-looking androgynous mother. What are the chances? Kids, you rolled the dice and that came up snake eyes. That came up bullshit snake eyes. That came up fake blue contact lens snake eyes to match the lesbian hairdo. What are the chances? As you'll see, it's actually not just happenstance because we've got some more statistics. Next clip. This is really
Myself, I identify as trans non-binary, so the surgery that I'm going to have, all of this is going to be gone. How do you feel about that?
that you're a psychopath? Perhaps, Mom? But she gives an answer, and I actually really do appreciate the earnest answer that follows.
Still, I still have mixed feelings
Still
about
mixed
that.
feelings. A little bit scary?
A lot scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's scary about it?
Namely, lopping off your tits. Namely, that you're going to be, I mean, there are lots. There's a lot, Mother, but chief amongst them is that you will be chopping off your tits. There are many reasons. The complications, the 41% attempted suicide rate that doesn't get any better when you have the surgery, again, where you're chopping off your tits. And considering that American slaves and those in internment camps never actually had the average populace suicide rates that were that high compared to the transgender community, I'm actually a little fearful, Mother, that my mother might be mentally unstable. Biologically, I mean, a chemical thing. Also, you know, the lopping off your tits. I don't want to gloss over that.
Did you ever want me to be non-binary?
When you were little,
Yes.
I just wanted you to be who you are without having to choose. Because when I grew up, there was just boy and girl.
How many genders are there?
Infinity?
What?
This is
Poor
confusing.
Yes. Very.
I love it when I was like, is this confusing? Yes. I have no answers.
That's by design.
This is the point. No one has ever been able to answer when they say, listen, misgendering someone, this is a big thing on campus, it's an act of violence. Well, how many pronouns are there? No one can answer the question. Nope. This is a video, by the way, designed to both ask and answer questions. Please go watch it in its full context. I think we pretty much ran the entire video. It doesn't answer any of them because they don't know the answers. They can't even play by their own rules. And something here that's really important, and this is why this matters. When I say it's actually it will be the downfall of Western civilization. Notice anything in this video? Amongst all of the, what'd you say, non-binary, trans, black, lesbian, I don't even know what you fit that into. No. You're not trying to identify with anything at that point other than a psychopath. Not a single positive rail male model.
No.
Got the entire
all
piece.
beta males.
Anything else, by the way? They exclusively cycled through negative male stereotypes. So what if instead of the negative male stereotypes, they actually went through there? If he said, hey, listen, sweetheart, what do you think would be the ideal? How should a man act? And then maybe the girl goes, I don't know, maybe a man should be kind and loving, but firm and protective and able to provide, but also able to lead when need be and also understand when to submit to them. I don't know, that's a good question, Dad. And I wonder, I think you fulfill a lot of those qualities. What if they did that instead? And what if, when this girl disrespected him, I'm gonna go to mommy's house. Dad, you don't know anything, right? What if instead of him just going, I guess I take it along with the alimony. What if when his girl disrespected him there on a national broadcast, what if the one man in there said, hey, whoa, hey, sweetheart, watch your mouth. Don't talk to Dad that way. That's not how you speak to adults. That's not respectful. And instead started teaching her how she should deal with authority, taught her how people should interact sociologically, and then how women should act, and then how men should treat women the proper way. What if instead of all of the things they did all of that instead? And by the way, what are the chances, anything else you notice, what are the chances that these kids outpace the average as far as gender non-binary kids by like 100%?
The odds are very favorable.
And something I don't understand, and hopefully we get someone. I know we had a dropout tomorrow for a long-form debate. If gender is a societal construct, which is the presupposition of this entire video, gender is a societal construct. How about, if we're going to acknowledge that, and we're going to say, please, I have to get rid of this hat. Please do it for the children. Right? Please, let's do it. It's a societal construct. Let's care about the children. Let's create videos like this cut. Okay, if we care about the children, how about constructing gender in a way that doesn't result in record depression, suicide, anxiety, isolation, and unhappiness, regardless of lopping off your tits? Chief amongst them, reasons for you being unhappy that you cut off your tits, mother. If we're going to say it's a societal construct, and we know beyond any shadow of a doubt, statistically, that the transgender community, both pre-op and post-op, have record rates of depression, suicide, anxiety, why don't we construct something because we're teaching our kids something anyway, as you're trying to do here. If we're going to teach them something, how about teaching them a way of life that we know leads to not only better health for themselves, but for the rest of their families? If you like this video, subscribe, watch one of these other videos, or hit the notification bell. Well, you should hit that if you subscribe anyways, because subscriptions don't mean anything on YouTube anymore. Now you have to hit notifications so that it shows up in your inbox. So I don't know why you subscribe in the first place, but that's what you have to do. Also, we're not making money off these videos anymore because YouTube decided why. They just said we're not going to. And when we said why, they didn't tell us why exactly. Imagine if you showed up to your job, you did all your work, and then they said, hey, by the way, we're not going to pay you. You said why? They said, piss off!